You're just talking about voter participation in elections, and I was just wondering what your opinion on why we vote on Tuesdays, and if you would support changing it to a weekend maybe where more people could vote.
Well, first, as we shared, there's kind of a history here over, I guess now, from the information shared at 140 years when it was deemed Tuesdays to be the day we vote. Having not been around at that point to say what their exact thought process was. But I think the bottom line is getting participation in whatever day we vote and however we make it. I think here in Pennsylvania we can make it easier in how you vote. Example would be absentee ballots. You have to know by this past Tuesday, a week out, that you are not going to be eligible or here to vote in person. So if you found out Wednesday that now you have to go out of town on business, you're out of luck to vote. Well, why should you? I mean, if you want to do your civic duty, why shouldn't you be able to go in to the election office on Wednesday and say, hey, I just found out I got to do a business trip next Tuesday, and so I want to vote and be allowed to. I visited a healthcare facility yesterday, and while I was visiting, if you want an inspiring example of someone who takes their civic duty very seriously, a 52-year-old woman who had a stroke, who's on what they call an autoambulator, where she's kind of suspended on the machine, and the machine walks for her to keep her muscles working. While I'm talking to her, while she's getting her treatment, she says, how do I get to vote next Tuesday? I'm still going to be here in this healthcare facility. Now, in her case, she's fortunate because there's what's called an emergency absentee ballot for a health reason. And after she grabbed me, two others in treatment there grabbed me and say, we're going to be here, how do we vote? And so we immediately got some of these emergency absentee ballot applications out to the facility for them to then handle, to get us out of the loop, because it wouldn't be appropriate as a candidate to say, here's your ballot, let me help you. But it shouldn't be that problematic. So there's a number of things, regardless of what day we vote, that we can do to make it easier. Many of those requirements, such as those absentee ballot, are state laws. So whether we vote Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, each state governs how they will deal with their absentee ballots. And there's a lot of things to do. Technology, is something today. The technology making it easier to vote, and the also voting by mail, regardless if you're going to be out of town or not. A lot of states already do that to generate greater participation. But I would come back to the issue that the issue, though, to me, is not what day we vote. It's about taking the right we have to vote seriously. And I see it as a duty of every citizen. And the least we can do in saying to those courageous men and women in Iraq and Afghanistan and throughout the world, on the ships in the Persian Gulf, is the least we can do to say thank you to them is turn out and vote. And it just troubles me when somebody will come in and have to wait 10 minutes in line to vote and feel like it's a burden. It's a blessing. You get to decide who your government officials are. And look at the film in Iraq. Given the right to vote, in the face of death threats, they lined up for as far as the eye could see to come out and vote. They're not taking their freedom for granted. They're saying we're blessed to get a choice in who our government leaders are. And we're willing, in the face of death threats, to come out and stand in this line, knowing we're a target for the terrorists, the enemies of democracy. We're willing to stand here. And then to hold up, after they voted, where they, that purple finger, and say, yeah, I'm proud I voted, and I know that makes me a marked target for the enemy. But I'm willing to do it because I believe in freedom. And so to me, what day we vote on is, I look at saying we should vote on Saturday or Sunday as an excuse for not doing your duty. There are very few people who work a shift that starts at 7 a.m. and ends at 8 p.m. at night, that they can't get there at some point during those 13 hours. I think we can make it more easier by absentee ballots or mail-in ballots. But I don't think changing the day really will change the participation. It's a mindset where we all need to say we're going to participate, and especially young people, your age group, your generation, who comes out always are senior citizens. They show that patriotic duty that patriarchs bear.
Can we go one more short question?
So, yeah, sorry, I